So today I'm going to show you how to be utilizing FlexOffers as an affiliate program to be able to make money on a regular basis. Now, I've been using FlexOffers and affiliate marketing over the last several years, actually 7 years overall. And so I actually want to show you all of this process. Now, I'm actually going to be on desktop while we're going through this so you can see things happening in real time and we can kind of go over stuff. Now, I'm currently logged into my FlexOffers account. And if you haven't been on an affiliate network, essentially what this is kind of like a brokerage. There are a broker, I should say. There are a bunch of different companies on one platform kind of wanting to showcase who they are, how much they're offering for every person that you send over to that company. And so we're going to break some of this down. I'm going to show you a little bit of how we function on our back end when it comes to utilizing this. Now, as we go through this, any of the resources we talk about today and the things that we utilize to take advantage of being able to have a really great setup of affiliate marketing are all going to be in the show notes down below for you. So go ahead and check those out. Some of those are affiliate links, right? So we're going to be able to make a little bit more money to be able to continue to make more free content just like this. All right, so I'm going to move my camera down here a little bit, and hopefully every time I need to move the camera, I'll adjust that as well too. So we're here on the homepage of our FlexOffers account. You can see over here on the top left-hand side. And we have a couple different things that we see first and foremost. So right over here, we actually get our current setup of accounts. So this is just one of our FlexOffers accounts that we have just because we run multiple different businesses. So this one is probably a little easier to run through than some of the other ones. But you right over here can see in the last 30 days, we had 252 clicks. We had 10 people convert on those clicks. We had a total sales amount of $208.99. We got a commission of $178. Now, these two things don't usually equate to each other all the time. So just something to keep in mind when kind of going through this, why those two numbers are off. So some companies give us their sales numbers and others don't. And that's just part of the data that we can collect in our affiliate networking program. All right, so we cleaned up the screen here just a little bit. And now what we're gonna do is actually scroll down here just a little bit. You get a little graph right over here for you too, which is really nice. You can kind of see it's currently set up to commissions, but you can switch it to clicks so you can see how many clicks you're getting on a regular basis. Now this account we actually just started a couple of months ago, so we're starting to see an uptick on usage with these clicks. So one thing to keep in mind when you are going through the process of affiliate marketing, it can take a little time to build up momentum in this process. Now, next up here is going to be the link generator. And this is where we're going to be able to get the links for the companies we are already connected with, which I will show you later how to go ahead and connect with a lot of these other companies. And what's really nice for us is if we keep scrolling down here too, it's going to give us some additional companies we can apply for. And if we keep scrolling down here towards the bottom, we'll see our top 10 advertisers that we've had over the last 30 days. Like I said, as of right now, we're just getting started, but we already had some really great momentum with one of these companies as well. Now, on the left-hand side of the screen here for us, we're going to see our menu settings here, and we're going to go through some of these different ones and show you what they all do and how they work through this process of either finding the different companies that we want to work with, getting our data, because the more data we have, the more things we can do, as well as some other really important settings we want to cover. Now, when we hover over here, you're going to see the menu options pop up. You can pin this if you really wanted to, so you can actually just have it up there at all times. But the first thing you're going to see here is going to be advertisers. Now, this is obviously going to be one of the most important pages we're going to go through. So we're going to click on here, and it's going to be a drop-down menu. Now, it's going to give us a couple different things where we could search by advertisers if we're looking for particular ones. We could do best payouts, any ones that just got into the program as far as onto FlexOffers, and then featured programs, and then featured promotions, which are maybe companies offering certain promotions. So maybe we want to make content for that, whether it's for videos on like TikTok or YouTube or blogs or any other social media sites. Now for us here, let's go ahead and click on advertiser search and start with that. And that's going to take us to this new page over here. First, you're going to see some featured promos, which will also be over here as well. So you're kind of getting a little bit of all of these different ways to find companies. So we're going to scroll down here for a little bit. Now over here, you're going to be able to search for advertisers, and there are a lot of different filters that we can go through. And some of these filters are really important to kind of condense a little bit of the information, because if you just go and look for every advertiser on a network affiliate, it can get really overwhelming. And most of the time we are in a specific niche, so we kind of want to cater a little bit more to what we are working towards. And this search area really helps us. First and foremost, if you already know the advertiser name or you want to see if they're on the network, you can go ahead and type over here to type in for that advertiser. You could also put in keywords, just something a little bit more common to maybe find all the companies within that realm. There is a section here for application status. status. So later down the road, as you continue throughout this process and you are applying for some companies, here you can see which ones you've been approved on, pre-approved, that are maybe still pending, or that get deactivated or unfortunately declined. And you can see those in the setting here. Then there's also for what they call traffic sources. And this is if you have multiple accounts that you're creating, where if you want to tell them, hey, this is going to be on a blog or on a YouTube channel or any other means, you can kind of curate those as well. And then the payout type here, you can see there are different things like cost per sale, cost per action, per lead, per click, per install. And so different companies will have different things that they need to hit to be able to pay out. So some of them are a little bit easier, some of them might be a little bit more difficult. And keeping in mind, typically the way it works is the more difficult it is to get somebody to complete something, the more likely it's going to be a higher payout. Not always the case, but just something to keep in mind. And then you can also search by countries. And then probably the most important one, which we talked about earlier, which is if you are in a niche, you want to go into the categories here and see all the different categories they have. And you can check mark these to kind of filter in just those companies, or sorry, those categories, I should say. And if you hit the little plus sign, it goes into like a subcategory as well. So if you want to get really specific, you can see here in automotive, there's car buying and selling, loans, rentals, training, parts. So it gets really specific here. But if you wanted to, for example, go to clothing and accessories, you can just have that whole entire section, or you can click the little plus sign and then toggle only what you need, right? If you do all footwear or all jewelry, maybe that's all you care about as well. And of course, you can also toggle in multiple different sections. So you can say clothing and accessories, and let's say career, because maybe you are somebody who teaches people how to dress well for their careers. So you can have both of these options available here for you. So we're going to click away from that. And then there's a couple other things with program features, such as deep linking and flex links, which you can hit the little question mark here to kind of go into more detail. If we don't want those toggled on, that's totally okay. And what we're going to do is click on the search bar right over here. And then that's going to take us over here now to our actual filtered settings of everything we talked about. You can see them, they're still up here. And the way this is going to also be, there's another like subset of filters that we could do. Up here, we can actually filter by best payout, new programs, featured programs, I can't even talk, and featured promotions. And you can also even sort this by alphabet, by when they joined, and then you can see right here, date added, and then the earnings per click over the last 7 days, 30 days, or even 90 days. So you can see how effective some of these links are long time after they've been clicked. So whichever way you want to filter those, you can. And it's also on a grid view. You can also go on a list view. Obviously, a lot of people like to visually see the brands that they're maybe already aware of. So it always helps to be in the grid view. Now, from here, you can see a lot of these different companies. Some you might know, like ZipRecruiter, but then there's a ton of companies you've maybe never heard of as well. Now they have network ratings as well as the category ratings. This just kind of gives a quick synopsis of like, what other people that are publishers like yourself are experiencing with these brands. Obviously, if it's new, it's going to let you know that. And then there's going to be sometimes letting you know that there's restrictions on these companies, which tends to mean that they're a little bit harder to get approved for. But then it gives you a quick little update on some of their payouts, if you can see, but then you can click inside of these boxes to get a lot more information, and we'll do that here in a second. So when we click on these companies, you can see like with ZipRecruiter, it brought up a little drop-down menu here for you, which then goes ahead and gives you a synopsis of the company and then their payout description. And your payout description is going to let you know how you can get paid out. So for this example, it says the payout is $160 per free trial for employers, 20 cents per application submitted for job seekers and new customers, and then 12 cents per applicant who's a job seeker who has re-engaged, so somebody who's been on the platform before. And then there are some additional restrictions that might apply with that. Now, on the right-hand side of that, there is going to be, you can see right over here, your traffic sources. So when you sign up for a FlexOffer account, it's going to ask you, hey, where are you going to be promoting this stuff? Email lists, social media, a blog, all these different things, because some companies want to be very specific where their affiliate network kind of reaches out to. So for this, you can go ahead and select all of them if you want, or if you say, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and do email list and send it out to the people that are on that. Or you could do your social media, which it might be, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, any of those other social platforms. And once you go ahead and click that, it's going to be apply with selected, and then it'll go through the process. Some companies will have an auto acceptance, which you'll pretty much just get an acceptance right away, but most of them will go through a time period to go ahead and get approved. Sometimes that wait time can be quite a while, honestly. But I would say on an average, it's anywhere from like 1 to 4 business days. You'll get a response by email letting you know if it's gotten approved or declined as far as becoming an affiliate with these companies. So it's not an always automatic thing just because you see the company on here to be able to go ahead and get approved to work with that company. All right, so when we scroll down just a little bit more, we're gonna see the network stats earnings per click, and you'll see this in a couple other areas as well as like a filter that you can choose. And you can see on this one, earnings per click in the last 90 days has been 10 cents, 30 days is 11 cents, and then in the last 7 days is 19 cents. And just to kind of give you an idea, to get 10 cents in the last 90 days, that means, what is that? 1,600 clicks had to be clicked on a particular link from any person to then get one person to pay out that $160 for that free trial with the employer. So just kind of something to keep in mind when going through this. It can take a lot of clicks for somebody to go through because it's, 1,600 people clicking on there and only one of them actually going through the entire process to then get that affiliate sale, right? So it's just kind of something to keep in mind. It kind of gives you a quick update of like, okay, it takes a lot of clicks to get at least one sale in here. So that means there's a lot of work to do to go through that process. This isn't always a full indicator, but just kind of another way to kind of filter out of like, hey, how do you want to kind of approach this? Is this something that maybe you can convert a little bit better? Because if you can, obviously your earnings per click can be really high. And part of the reason this might be important for people to note too is, at least for me, I'm here on YouTube, and with YouTube, if I'm getting somebody off of the platform, that's a little bit of a hindrance on the growth of the channel. So when I send people off platform, I want to have a really good shot at converting that person to whatever product or services that they're looking for, right? I don't want to just send them off to some random thing to try to make $160, but I want to say, hey, I'm going to make content that's really going to help that person with whatever they're looking for. And so if I'm going to send them off platform, I want to make sure it's worth it, because otherwise it's going to really hurt the algorithm on my platform to be able to continue to do that. So for me, I'm going to look into this and say, what's something better to send them off to, so long as the product is just as good, to then maybe convert a little bit better if that's not good enough for me. Now, if 10 cents in the last 90 days is good, great. That's going to be up to you as you continue to do this, because it's always based off of your data and your information. And you'll be able to see that over time in your reports, I should say. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word, but I had to look on my screen. So the reports will kind of give you a little bit more of an indicator of how many clicks you're getting and how many commissions you're getting from those clicks, and like the earnings as a whole. So you'll have a better idea as you continue on with this process. All right, so now I want to show you what it looks like once you do get approved with a company, and how you get your links and kind of what you want to do with those links once you get them. And so I'm going to scroll back up here. Now we're back here on the search advertisers, and over here you can see where it says application status, and we're going to switch this to approved. But before we hit search here, we also want to clear out the categories that we have, because if the things we're looking for are not in the approval and in that category, nothing is going to show up for us as well. So we want to only show anything that we're currently approved with and nothing else here on this feed. You can also clear your search if it makes it a little easier if you filled out everything. So we're going to click on search, and then that's going to take us to our list of companies that we already got approved for. And so I just clicked on one of them, and this is going to be with Paramount. It's actually just cut off a little bit here. And you're going to see very similar things as if you were trying to apply for a company, but here you can still see your payout. You can see the clicks, earnings per clicks, I should say. And then on the right-hand side, you're going to see something a little bit different. You can see it right over here. Our social media has a little check mark on there saying that we actually have been approved for this at some point. And you can see it says approved right over here, and that we did agree to the terms and conditions. And you can also see what those program terms were in case you forgot about them. All right, so I cleaned up the screen right over here. And next, what you would want to do then, if you are approved for a company, you can click on here where it says get links. And that's going to take you to a page that looks like this. I had to move my screen here just a little bit for us. And this is going to be your link search. So you can also get to it over here in your link section on the left-hand side. So there's just kind of like a couple ways to get to the same pages all the time on here. Just something to keep in mind. And here for us, we already obviously have it with the company we're looking at, which was Paramount. And then down here is going to be our actual like link information. So let me scroll down here. So down here, we're going to see a lot of different things. So first and foremost, sometimes they have different promotions that are going on that you can offer your viewers or your readers. And you can see obviously some of the different categories that they have here for you, as well as the content type, which is text, or sometimes it could be banners if you want to put them on your website. And on to the right-hand side of that, there is going to be a thing that says view link. And by clicking that link section over here, it's going to bring up a drop down menu. And this gives you a lot more details, such as the full name of the promotion, how long it's going on for, and then the payout description, because sometimes those payouts can be a little different than your overall. Now down here, you're going to actually see your full link itself, and then you can actually toggle this on to be in HTML if you actually needed that to be. But as far as the link goes, you can actually make this shorter by clicking on this toggle here to make it short. Or if you're like myself, I like to use pretty links to put it on the back end. So that way on the front end, it has a website / whatever I'm trying to send them to. And it looks a little bit cleaner for us as well. Now you could also make this a deep link, or you can even add sub IDs, which is going to be a little bit into more an intermediate side of things once you kind of get a good idea of how this all works and getting started with affiliate marketing. So from here, you could just go ahead and click on copy link to go ahead and do that. Or like I mentioned, if you want to make it shorter first, you can go ahead and do that as well. All right, so I actually jumped over to my WordPress account over here just to kind of give you a quick idea of what I would do with a link instead of just posting that longer link or even the short link that FlexOffers gives me. So here I'm on a application that they have on my WordPress that I got, which is called Pretty Links. It's probably one of my favorites. It pretty much cloaks your link into having your website and then having it / whatever you want it to be. So actually I kind of cut off the slash here. So let me so you can see right over there, it shows / right over here with Pretty Links. What I can do is I could put my targeted link right over here that we got from our FlexOffers, and then my pretty link that will actually look nice, right? That's why they call it a pretty link, will be whatever.com/Paramount that now I can post out to anywhere online. Now, what I love most about pretty links as well is that if I really wanted to or needed to, more so likely, is actually change out wherever I'm sending people, I can easily come back in here and any link that has my .com/Paramount on there will change all for me. Because one of the things that would suck the most, I'm going to go back over here, is if I use this link anywhere online and FlexOffers is like, hey, that link don't work no more, or hey, this promo's done, right? Even though it says ongoing, maybe at some point this promo is going to be done. Well, I'm going to have to go all over the internet to find those links and change them out. Where if I'm on my pretty links, and this is what's so great about affiliate marketing and going this route, is that if that link changes, I can come in here and change this link as well. And then all of my .com/Paramount are all going to change to that new link. It is the biggest lifesaver I've ever had when it comes to affiliate marketing. And I have a couple of tutorials talking about that here on the channel when it comes to, how to utilize pretty links and like kind of what pretty links is as a whole. So you can check those out. I'll also try to link them in the show notes if I remember. Huge time saver, and probably one of the most important aspects when it comes to being able to change out my links at any time I need to. All right, so I actually jumped over here into my reports tab on the left-hand side so I can show you a little bit more. We saw at the beginning when you log in, you kind of have a quick synopsis or a snapshot of how you're doing. But the reports gives you a lot more details. And one thing I could tell you is when I talk to affiliate companies and they want to work with me, when I have data on my side, not just from my demographic on YouTube or any other platforms, but when I just have overall data on my side and I can share that with them from other affiliates that I've worked with, I can sometimes get a better pay than what you see on screen with those companies that you sign up for, just because I have a little bit more leverage with that. So just something to keep in mind, going to your data is going to be very crucial, right? So here, first and foremost, it's going to be almost like a filter system. You can choose the traffic sources either by one of the companies or one of the ways you reach out to people, or you could do all of them. You could choose a performance range, the trend. You could do weekly, monthly, all that. You could do the range, which is this week or last week or whatever, and then your start dates for that. And then you can go ahead and generate a report, and I'll show you what that looks like. So once I went ahead and generated the report, you could see just this month so far, halfway through, we got 87 clicks, 3 orders that we've done, the sales amount, which again is not always the most important metric that we track, but you could also see the commissions just for these last few weeks was $86. And if I keep scrolling down, this right over here is going to give me even more details. Again, we can see all those pieces that we saw earlier, but then we can see our earnings per click. We saw earlier with some companies, we're earning 10 cents. For this month right here, you can see we're earning 99 cents. So we can get a better idea of like, hey, where are we at in comparison? And then you could see your average commission as well. So that way you can get a better idea. But once you get more data, you're going to get a lot more information kind of culminating together. So that way you can get better ideas of what companies are working well for you, which companies maybe you don't want to continue promoting because the clicks are not coming through. Now here, we're actually just looking at our overall FlexOffers account, but you could actually even break this down by individual company that you are affiliated with. So you can see how that company in particular is doing exclusively, so you can get the data just from them rather than the whole of the overall network that you're a part of. So I jumped over here on the main page again, and I wanted to show you real quick too, because I don't know if I talked about it earlier at the beginning. So the amount of advertisers that are in this network are 11,316. So there's a good chance that whatever niche you're in, no matter how small that niche might be, there's a really good chance there's companies that are in here that will work with you. You can see all the companies that you're currently within this account, which in this account we are at 26. And what I also like too is you can see advertisers that are added in the last 7 days, and that's 56. So you can always be coming back into your account to see which companies have been added by that filter, and you can filter by newly added programs. So you can see which ones are there and if they work with your niche in particular. Now, I mentioned earlier, if you want to go ahead and check out any of the resources we utilize here in today's video, such as like FlexOffers themselves, or checking out Pretty Links, or even a website to go ahead and sign up, I'm going to have that all in the show notes down below for you. Some of those are, again, affiliate links, which helps us make more free content just like this for you. Now, speaking of free content, there is more to learn when it comes to getting into affiliate marketing. So I'm actually going to post my next video right over here on screen for you so you can keep on learning.